They gave me 48 hours to yank my Juneteenth flag or start daily fines. In my own porch. The letter came in a plastic sleeve, like it was afraid of catching feelings. Notice of non-compliance. Bold and loud. Dated June 17th. Dropped on my welcome mat, right under the little brass turtle my daughter Maya picked out. Remove unlawful banner by Friday. 5 p.m. Or fines of $200 per day will accrue. It's a porch flag. Cotton. Deep red. Green. Starburst white. We hung it on Saturday, June 15th. After pancakes. I'm a paramedic. I work nights. Sometimes I get home with blood on my boots and can't tell if the siren is still in my ears or in my chest. That flag, Juneteenth, is a pause button for me. We're still here. It says, we're allowed to breathe. Magnolia Ridge is quiet on the surface. Crepe myrtles. Cul-de-sacs. A little pond with a scripted no fishing sign that folks ignore every Sunday. Also, an HOA that writes like a courthouse. The president is Karen Whitfield. Blonde helmet hair. Pearls. Even at the dog park. She never waves. She doesn't have to. Power in a clipboard is still power. Maya found the letter first. She's 12. Dad, they mad at the flag. Annoyed. I said. Soft. Annoyed ain't the same as right. Receipts. Negrees 1. The letter. Printed on HOA letterhead. With Section 8. Subsection C, unauthorized signage. I took a photo and circled the date, June 17th. I added a note. Federal holiday, June 19th. Holiday display exception. I texted our group chat me. My wife Tasha. And Miss 5. Laverne. My mom. We got a notice. They want it down by Friday. 5 p.m. Mom wrote back. Over my living body. Bring the bylaws. I called the number at the bottom. A woman with a smile voice answered. Magnolia Ridge Community Association. This is Brooke. Hey. I said. This is Damon Carter. Lot 107 on Blue Larkspur. I got a notice about my Juneteenth flag. A pause. Keyboard clack. One moment. Yes. The compliance committee issued that. I need to talk to whoever issued it. That would be the president. Ms. Whitfield. Karen. Yes. Sir. The sir sounded like a paper cut. I'm on duty till 3. I can come by the office at 4. We don't have a walk-in today. Then I'll email. And I'll CC the board. I hung up and pulled up the PDF of the bylaws on my phone. The one I keep bookmarked because Magnolia Ridge likes its rules like a hobby. Receipts. NOR 2 bylaws. Article 4. Section 2. Seasonal and holiday displays. Decorative items may be displayed 14 days before and 7 days after a recognized holiday. Recognized. Juneteenth is a federal holiday since 2021. I screenshotted that clause and dropped it in the email. Dear Board. Per Article 4. Section 2. I am permitted to display a holiday item for 14 days prior to a recognized holiday. Juneteenth is June 19th. My flag is a holiday display. Please rescind the notice. Regards. Damon Carter Lot 107. I CC Tasha. My mom. And 'cause I ain't dumb, Councilwoman Lila Brooks, who lives 2 neighborhoods over and shows up for National Night Out with her sleeves rolled up. Karen wrote back at 11:30 a.m. Sharp. No greeting. Receipts. N degrees 3. Your flag is not a holiday item contemplated by Article 4. Only federal flags and approved seasonal decor winter wreaths. Harvest pumpkins are permitted. Remove by Friday 5 p.m. I typed. Deleted. Typed again. Respectfully. I wrote. June 19th is a federal holiday, and the display is temporary. Please point me to the section that defines holiday item as pumpkins only. No answer. Lunch break came and went. Dispatch sent us to a heat stroke call. I bagged ice under a guy's armpits and fed him sips of water. When we got back, there was a new email. Receipts. N degrees Fahrenheit or. Daily fines will commence Saturday at 8 a.m. if non-compliance persists. Tasha said. They're counting on you being tired. I am tired. Different kind of tired. Babe. Level 1. Petty to painful kicked in before I could finish my shift. Someone posted a photo of our porch on the HOA Facebook group with the caption, Unapproved political banners on blue larkspur. Thoughts? They blurred our house number but left our blue ceramic frog, which everybody knows is ours. The comment slid in, rules is rules. We have standards. If we let one, where does it end? There's people who think anything that isn't beige is an attack. Receipts. Nay degrees, Fahrenheit screenshot of that post. Timestamped June 17th. 2:15 p.m. I replied under my real name. It's a holiday flag. Article 4. Section 2. 10 minutes later. The admin turned off comments. At home. Mom set out peach cobbler like we needed sugar armor. They want to fight. We bring paper, she said. She pulled a file folder out of her tote like a magician. Deed. Easement. The management contract they mailed when we closed. And this. Receipts. Negri 6, a city flyer from last year, holiday and seasonal decor guidelines. Cedar Creek, that literally listed freedom to display holiday flags for federal observances, and gave examples: Juneteenth, Veterans Day, Independence Day. I didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Mom, where'd you get this? I showed up to a town hall while y'all was working. Took notes. Friday came with a second notice taped to our door. This one with red ink. Receipts. N degrees 7. Final notice, remove non-compliant banner by 5 p.m. to avoid fines and cost of enforcement, which may include removal. Cost of enforcement. Cute way to say, bolt cutters. I emailed again. I plan to attend the board meeting. June 19th at 6 p.m. Clubhouse. I will bring the city guidance and the bylaws excerpt, Karen replied, at 1:30 p.m. Receipts. N degrees 8. The meeting agenda is full. There will be no public comment related to enforcement actions. She attached an agenda with pool furniture replacement and pet waste stations. Like that mattered more than neighbors getting shaken down. The clock ticked. 4:49 p.m. I stood on the porch, phone in hand. Eye on the time. At 4:57. A white Lexus parked across our driveway. Karen got out with a man in a navy polo that said compliance in big block letters. Like a Halloween costume. He held bolt cutters. I opened the Ring app. Hit record. You're on camera, I said. My voice was calm in the video. Calmer than my ribs felt. Karen smiled. Small and sharp. Mr. Carter. The deadline is 5 p.m. You got 2 minutes, I said. And a law problem. The man in the polo, Walt. I'd later learn. The board's compliance liaison lifted the cutters. We have authority to remove non-compliant items, he said. He handed me a paper. Receipts. And degrees 9, HOA removal authorization with no signature. No board vote. Just per Section 8. It looked like it was thrown together in Microsoft Word between sips of iced coffee. Mom stepped onto the porch with the city flyer like a shield. Article 4. Section 2. She said, tapping it with a cherry red nail. Holiday display. Ma'am. Karen said. The way folks say, bless your heart, when they mean the opposite. Juneteenth does not qualify. You don't get to say what Juneteenth is. I said. The United States says. The city of Cedar Creek says. Our neighbor, Mr. Ahmed, appeared on his lawn in socks and slides. Phone filming. Do not cut, he said. Voice steady. This is trespass. Karen lifted her own phone. Started recording us. Recording her. We're acting under authority of the covenants. Show the minutes. I said. Show the vote where the board authorized removal. Silence. Walt's cutters hovered. The ring camera caught the exact second he glanced at Karen like. You sure? She nodded. Touch that flag, I said. And I called the sheriff. Walt lowered the cutters. But Karen pivoted. Quick. You're welcome to dispute fines at the next compliance hearing. Which is when Tasha asked from behind me. She had Maya's small hand in hers. Karen blinked. To be scheduled. Clock games. They'd fine us Saturday morning and schedule the hearing 3 weeks out. By which time, the total would be more than our car note. I could feel the math turning predatory in real time. They left after 5. No cut. But with a parting shot. Receipts. Degrees 10, a fresh email. Non-compliance escalation. Stating that daily fines of $200 would begin at 8 a.m. Saturday. Attached a ledger with a balance starting to tick. It felt like watching a taxi meter in a neighborhood where no cabs go. Level 2 aggressive showed up before breakfast. At 7:45 a.m. Saturday. A post hit Nextdoor PSA. Aggressive male on Blue Larkspur confronted HOA volunteers. Police called. They used a sun emoji. Folks added little stay safe replies like we were a coyote by the playground. Receipts. No Grease 11. Screenshot of that post. Plus the ring clip with timestamps. I stapled them together in my brain. I also pulled my dashcam footage from the Lexus blocking our drive. Receipts. Norda 12. By noon a new email arrived from Treasurer Doug per board policy. Delinquent accounts may be lined. He attached a lien intent letter template. Receipts. Degrees 13 template with blanks. No vote. No minutes. Just the threat. I called Councilwoman Brooks. Lila. It's Damon Carter. We met at the coat drive last winter. She remembered my mom's cobbler. What's going on? I laid it out. I got bylaws and a city flyer that says holiday flags are okay. They're fining me $200 a day. They tried to cut it down. She said, save everything. Email my office. And Damon. If they removed it, that's conversion of property. If they're issuing fines outside of process, that's a problem. Tasha. Meanwhile, found last month's meeting minutes online. Receipts. N degrees Fahrenheit or Teen Compliance Committee meets first Wednesday of each month. All enforcement actions require notice and opportunity to be heard. Today was Saturday. No opportunity had occurred. I printed a stack. I wrote the words, "Due process," on a post-it and stuck it to the top. I ain't a lawyer, but I can read. Monday morning, I got a certified letter slip in our mailbox. Receipts. Degrees Fahrenheit of teen. The pink slip with a deadline to pick it up by Thursday at 3 p.m. The old clock again. Ticking. While I ran calls and tried not to think about losing the house over a piece of cloth and a principal. That night, we met in our living room with Ms. Nguyen from around the corner, Mr. Ahmed, and a guy named Jorge, who runs the barber shop outside the neighborhood and hears everything. We made sweet tea. We made a plan. Public arena. June 19th. 6 p.m. The clubhouse. We'd bring a projector. The bylaws. The city flyer. The minutes. The ring clip. The dash cam. I'd ask for public comment. If they shut it down, we'd request a special meeting. Per the covenants, there's always a clause that lets owners call one if enough signatures show up. We would not shout. We would not cuss. We would not touch nobody. They sorry. The board likes to bait. One more thing. Receipts. Degrees 16. A letter from attorney Selena James. On letterhead. Hand-delivered to the HOA office Tuesday at 4 p.m. Stating that any attempt to remove property without proper authorization will be met with immediate legal action. And citing the city ordinance about holiday displays. I spent $200 for an hour of her time. Cheaper than 1 day of fines. You know, the clubhouse on June 19th smelled like lemon cleaner and quiet rage. Folding chairs. String lights. A PowerPoint about pool furniture looping on the TV. Karen sat at the head table with Doug and Brooke and Walt on her left like a linebacker who got lost on his way to a game. Priya, the secretary, had a neat stack of paper and a pen that matched her lipstick. Karen banged a gavel. Where do they even buy those and read the agenda? No public comment tonight, she said. Bright as a dentist lamp. I stood at the back and raised my hand anyway. Point of order, I said. My voice shook once, then found itself. Due process requires notice and opportunity to be heard prior to enforcement actions. Karen blinked slow. That's for hearings. Mr. Carter, it's for before you fine me. You started fines Saturday. You tried to remove my flag Friday. The hearing is when Priya lowered her eyes to her papers. Doug cleared his throat. I plugged in the projector to an open outlet. The TV swapped from pool furniture to my desktop background Maya on her bike the day she learned to ride without training wheels. I pulled up receipts. N degrees 2, the bylaws. Article 4. Section 2, glowed on the wall like scripture. Holiday displays may be displayed 14 days before and 7 days after a recognized holiday. Then receipts. Degrees 6, the city flyer next to it. Recognized holidays include Juneteenth. I let the silence sit on that sentence. Karen said, "That's city guidance, not HOA policy. Your covenants say holiday displays." I said, "Not pumpkins. Not wreaths. Holiday displays." I hit play on the ring clip. Receipts. N degrees 9 and N degrees 10. Combined Karen. Walt. The cutters. The look they shared. The touch. That flag and I call the sheriff. It lasted 48 seconds. Folks gasped like a movie twist. A deputy in khaki stepped forward from the back. "This part, I didn't plan. Ms. Laverne had texted him. "Deputy Rhodes," he said. "We've received a call Saturday morning about an alleged aggressive male. We reviewed video. There was no criminal offense by Mr. Carter. Also, for the record, compliance does not confer law enforcement authority." Walt looked at his shoes. Karen's smile thinned. "I pulled up receipts. In degrees Fahrenheit or teen, the minutes where notice and opportunity to be heard sat in black and white. You skipped this," I said. "You started fines without it," Priya spoke. Finally. "The committee didn't meet," she said. "We haven't issued any formal findings. The notices Karen asked Brooke to draft them." Karen's head snapped toward her. The board," she started. And I swear, a little sorry slipped out her mouth like a ghost. A hand shot up in the front row. "Ms. Jenkins. The lady who keeps the community garden going with her own hose. Why are we spending money fighting a holiday?" she asked. "We could spend it on the playground shade." Then Councilwoman Brooks stood from the side wall. "The city ordinance is clear," she said. "Holiday displays are permitted. If you fine residents contrary to your own covenants and the ordinance, you expose the association to liability. And y'all, that ain't abstract. That's your dues." The room shifted. A murmur, like the sound a school makes right before a pep rally flips. Karen tapped her gavel. "We appreciate the city's input. But point of information," Priya said, voice firmer. "We also have a petition from 57 owners requesting a special meeting to discuss removal of the president. That's more than the 20% required. Receipts. N degrees 17, the petition. Pages stapled. Signatures in ink. Asterisks next to folks who babysat each other's kids and shared jumper cables." Karen's pearls didn't move, but I swear her neck got red. "Out of order," she said. Doug muttered. "It's not out of order. Level 3 public arena was fully here." Motion to suspend all fines related to holiday displays pending council review, Priya said, looking not at Karen but at the room. "I second," Doug said. Karen slammed the gavel. "There's no motion on tonight's agenda. Point of order." Someone called. "Jorge. From the barber shop. You can amend an agenda by majority." "Ma'am." Walt looked between faces like he'd wandered into the wrong movie. Hands rose. Folks did the math with their fingers. Priya counted. Majority present. Motion to amend passes. And then, like a domino line falling, motion to suspend pass 2. Receipts. N degrees 18. My phone recording the vote. Karen's no swallowed by a sea of yes. I felt the pressure behind my sternum let out like a snapped valve. Tasha squeezed my hand so hard my knuckles spoke. Maya leaned into my side, whispering, "We're okay, for now." I whispered back, "We're okay for now." Then came the flip. I didn't expect to happen that fast. Priya cleared her throat. Per the petition received, we must schedule a special meeting within 10 days to vote on removal of the president. Also, because enforcement actions were initiated without committee review, I request an audit of all compliance fines for the past 6 months. Witch hunt, Karen said. Tiny laugh that landed wrong. Councilwoman Brooks put her palms up. Or accountability. Pick your noun. Deputy Rhodes, still at the back, added. And about that compliance badge. If any person represents themselves as having police authority, that's a misdemeanor under state law. He looked at Walt. So, Maybe don't. Walt nodded, like his shirt collar had suddenly shrunk. After the meeting, I found Priya by the water cooler. Thank you, I said. She shook her head. I should have said something sooner, she said. My parents came here with nothing. They told me to keep my head down. Her mouth twisted. Keeping your head down sometimes just means staring at your shoes while someone else gets stepped on. We walked out under a sky slashed pink and gold. Kids chased each other with glow sticks. The clubhouse speakers still played soft jazz from some HOA picnic playlist someone forgot to turn off. Ms. Y. Jenkins pressed a slice of lemon cake into my mom's hand. I felt, for the first time in a week, like the neighborhood could be what the brochure promised. The special meeting happened 10 days later. On June 29th. Under fluorescent lights that made everyone look a little sick. The board hired a lawyer in a Navy suit who said fiduciary like it cost money. He recommended suspending all holiday-related enforcement, issuing refunds where appropriate, and revising the policy to name Juneteenth explicitly. Best practices, he said. Also, no more unilateral actions. Karen gave a speech about protecting property values. Folks stared at their hands. Votes were cast on little half-sheets. Priya counted out loud. Remove 61. Retain 32. Receipts. Negrease 19. Those numbers written in Sharpie on poster board. Taped to the whiteboard, like the final score of a game you'll remember when you're 80. The aftermath had teeth. The board rescinded all fines against us. They donated $2,000, spell it. Damon $2,000 to the Youth Center's Scholarship Fund. In honor of Juneteenth, they updated the policy to include a list of recognized holidays. And under it, a line that read, "This list is illustrative, not exhaustive." They added a requirement, no enforcement actions without documentation of a committee vote and notice. They bought shade sails for the playground, like Ms. Jenkins asked. Walt resigned to spend more time with family, which as HOA for this job wasn't what I thought. Karen, she moved 3 months later. A for sale sign popped up on her lawn like a white flag. Folks said she went to a lake community with stricter standards. Maybe the quiet there is the kind that swallows your own voice. I don't know. I ain't mad at her leaving. I'm mad at what she tried to make the rest of us accept. We kept the flag up through the weekend and took it down at sunset, like we do with the big one on the 4th. Maya helped fold it. Her fingers small against the cotton. Why does it matter so much, she asked. I told her the truth I could hold in my hands. Because somebody thought they could fine us out of our own story. Because they want our neighborhoods to look calm while they pull the rug. Because rules wasn't made to keep us safe if they're used to keep us small. Grandma says we're not small, she said. Grandma's right. On July 1st, I found a note on our porch. No letterhead. Just ink and sincerity. Thank you for standing up. It said, I'm sorry, I was quiet last week. It won't happen again. A neighbor. We put the note in the same plastic sleeve they'd used for the notice. Funny how paper can be a weapon or a bridge, depending on the hands. So, hey, if your HOA knocks with a headache and a countdown, what would you do here?